So we put our sports people up on pedestals to be able to, that they're gods, and we should bow down to them in some way. Here I am talking to the Crown Prince of Japan, the person who's going to be the emperor of this country, and he was just like you and I. So the thing about celebrities, influential people is that they're just the same as you and I. We think that there's some sort of gods. Here I'm Australian. If you can hear my accent, you can understand that. And we're right into sport. So like Americans or British, Europeans, they're pretty much everywhere. Sport is the king. So we put our sports people up on pedestals to be able to, that they're gods, and we should bow down to them in some way. But they have influence to be able to help business and organisations based on their sporting, which there's no relation from one to the other. But also there's political people, there's business icons who've been able to do some great things for their business, but for their communities as well. But I found over the years that they're just like you and I. When I was involved with the Junior Chamber of Commerce in the world, we had a large conference in Japan. We had about 4,000 people at this conference in Japan. And some of us had the opportunity to have an interview with the then Crown Prince of Japan, who's now the Emperor of Japan. And it was interesting because that day Australia was playing Japan in the World Cup of Soccer. So I just sat there and had a talk with him about soccer match, and we're just having a laugh about who was going to win, and it was just about soccer. And it just gave me that reflection at the time. Here I am talking to the Crown Prince of Japan, the person who's going to be the emperor of this country, and he was just like you and I. And since then, it's come to that realisation. I've done a lot of things with the Chambers of Commerce. When I was Vice President of the Asia Pacific Chambers of Commerce and Industry, I met presidents of Sri Lanka, the Vice President of China, whole range of political and business and organisational leaders right across the Asia Pacific area. And that was a major thing, is that they are just individuals. Now, saying that, a key point is that it's about giving respect. There's respect from you to them, that they've done some really cool things, or they're in a position of that, but not fawning over them, or not seeing them as some sort of gods that you can't go up and talk to and reflect and have that discussion as two individuals can do. But a secret to that is you've got to be interested in them, because again, the message is it's all about them. So it's asking them questions, asking them, having an interest in their lives, an interest in what they've been doing in their lives, what they've done, books they might have written, some points of view or some ideas that they've been able to put across in the world. So there is some history, there is some research that you should do beforehand, and that's about showing respect to them. Just not taking them for granted, that they've got a point of view, they've got solutions for your life, and they're always interested in whether those solutions have been good for you as well. And just as an example on that, I've talked about ClickFunnels from time to time. So that's a software marketing business that I've been involved in the last 4 to 5 years, all around the world, and the owner of that business, Russell Brunson, he's a guy that is put up on a pedestal. He's up on stage in front of 5,000, 10,000 people, and he does some really good things all around the world. So he's a very interesting type of person. So one of the ways that I've engaged with him from afar, because don't forget he's in Boise, in the States, and I'm from Tasmania, a long way away. So how can we be engaged to be able to create that relationship, to create those links, to be able to do that? And over the last few weeks, I've been doing that on Twitter. So Russell's been putting up his little messages on Twitter, and I make sure that, and it just so happens when I wake up, he's going to bed. So he puts up some things, and I always reply to him in that respectful way, that I've understood the information that he's put across, and I've been able to show that I've understood that, and also put a point of view that may be slightly different, or add to it, or ask a different question as well. So over time it builds up that relationship, builds up that your message is respectful, and then my message is respectful is there as well. And then you can follow up those contacts to be able to then, again, it's based on that friendship, based on that understanding across with people. Similarly with LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a platform which I use quite well as well. It's because it's a business to business platform. So it's a way that I can talk to people who have their own business or involved in business and interested in making their businesses better, because I think I have solutions for them. But it's a platform that we can engage with to be able to say, okay, here's some problems that some people have, and here's some solutions which I think that would overcome those problems. So over time, it engages backwards and forwards with people, trying to get that understanding on their problems, to try to get that understanding that there are solutions for their problems, and that in some ways they're simple, some may be more difficult, but I'm now a person with some solutions for them. And across those platforms, you can engage with people in a respectful way to build that brand reputation, to build that that understanding that you're a celebrity, you're an influential person, but here I am engaging with you on a one-on-one basis. So suddenly other people see that, their followers see that you are being respectful and sharing that conversation, and that then builds up brand reputation. Going back to those sporting people, if you're at a function and you wanted to appear important, you stand next to the important people, and suddenly you have a reflection on their brand values, their reputation, that you must be someone important as well. Not just because of their importance of them, but that respectful, that information, that solution person that you are. So don't be scared about influencers. Don't be scared about having that understanding that celebrities are important. And just one way is, I actually wrote a book. I wrote a book with Brian Tracy. And suddenly there's an understanding that reputation is about that Brian Tracy, especially in the States, is very well known in that business community. In Australia, not so much, but certainly within certain parts of the world, he's got some great messages, some great ideas, some great concepts that's helped many businesses and many people all around the world. Suddenly I get some reputation that I must have a story as well, that I must have solutions that can help people as well. So that celebrity branding, celebrity working with people, is just another important way that you can use that business tribe concept, that understanding that creating trust and respect is just so important. And you can use that business tribe to be able to help any business and any organisation all around the world. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and if you want a deeper dive where I share some more information on how you can implement business tribes in your business or organisation, grab the link below at businesstribes.com.